The other area that you've suggested the coalition move on is the emissions trading scheme. You say cut a deal and get this out of the way, essentially, but you don't necessarily believe that carbon emissions are making the world warmer?
The government is set upon this, and one of the points that I make in the book is that you can't save the country from opposition, and you can't permanently protect people from the consequences of the government they elected. Now, if we were in government, we would not be doing what the Rudd government is doing. We certainly wouldn't be doing this, but given the Rudd government's mandate, if you like, I think we are perfectly entitled to say, look, if this is what you want to do, do it. We don't like it. We don't think it's going to be economically helpful to our country. It may turn out to be environmentally futile. But be it on your head.
But I've got to ask you, Tony Abbott, you talk about yourself as a politician that stands for something, and yet if you don't believe this emissions trading scheme is a good idea, why vote for it? And if you voted also to get rid of work choices and you're saying let's bring back some of those elements, why vote one way when you stand for something else?
To not oppose something is not the same as to support something. I think that's an important distinction, and you are not obliged to fight at all times on all issues. I think oppositions are entitled to say, look, these are the things that we will fight on. These are the other things that we will reserve perhaps for another day. Now, I think that the climate change science is far from settled. The fact that we've had, if anything, cooling global temperatures over the last decade, notwithstanding continued dramatic increases in carbon dioxide emissions, suggests that the role of CO2 is not nearly as clear as the climate catastrophists would suggest. I also think that if you want to put a price on carbon, why not just do it with a simple tax? Why not ask motorists to pay more? Why not ask electricity consumers to pay more? And then at the end of the year you can take your invoices to the tax office and get a rebate of the carbon tax you've paid. It would be burdensome. All taxes are burdensome, but it would certainly change the price of carbon, raise the price of carbon without increasing in any way the overall tax burden. This emissions trading scheme is almost impossible to understand. It involves enormous offsets. It's going to create business opportunities in a product which is not a real product. I think there'll be all sorts of avenues for scamming. But nevertheless, this is what the government wants, and as I said,
and you guys can't win on this issue.
And we can't save the country from opposition.
Just finally, you've said Malcolm Turnbull is the best person to lead the Liberal Party at the moment, but he's having a terrible time in the polls. What's the one piece of advice he should take from this book to improve the whole party's standing?
Well, I'm not going to offer Malcolm advice because he's a big boy and he's my leader. I can certainly offer myself advice. Writing a book like this is a process of self-instruction as much as anything else.
But is there something he needs to do to turn around the fortunes of the party?
Let's never forget that it's not easy to be a new opposition. It's particularly difficult to be a new opposition leader. And I don't believe that there is anyone, John Howard, Peter Costello, were they available, anyone else in the coalition, myself included, who would do better. It's just a very, very hard job.